Welcome to Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, and as you can see in today's episode, we are building for the River Rapids ride. I have done a little bit of work on camera. I did some decorating, and I have also built the ride itself because the actual terraforming and the whole thing took me too long that I couldn't actually fit it in this video. If you do want to see that in the future, be sure to let me know. I don't know if anyone likes to see that, but it took me a little bit to build this, so I just hope you guys don't mind that too much. You can see by the start of today's video, I'm not going to be doing too much. I'm just going to be doing sort of a little bit of theming here and there, just to kind of get the structure of the building, and then I might add some, for example, station elements and stuff like that in there. So yeah. So starting off with some of our sci-fi theming of the indoors, I wanted this area to almost be like this semi-aquatic research station slash hunting poaching research station sort of thing. I want the fact that these people are hunting and looking for these species and finding out how they move and stuff like that. So you've got some of the aquatic theming, and they've also got this centerpiece which is going to be like a squid in the tank, which you'll see in the second parts towards the end. But yeah, so I use a lot of the aquatic pieces, such as the crates. There's like power generators, oxygen tanks and stuff like that. If you were quite skilled, unlike me, you could use, for example, custom pieces, as you can scale them quite small now. So if you wanted to be, you could be that detailed. But I think it just gets the overall gist, and you don't have to spend too long on things like this. It's just to kind of make it a basic queue. It's just a little bit better than average queue, basically. So if you are doing interiors, my top tip would be to start with the interior, then put the roof and decorating around it, as you can kind of just base around it. In fact, towards the end, I kind of realised that actual RDA facilities are grey and yellow rather than this like blue colour. So I didn't change the interior, but a lot of the exterior is changed to that. I also changed one of the fish colours, I think, or something like that, to make it fit in a little bit more, just because in the dark it doesn't look too bad, but in the daytime it obviously looks completely different than what the exterior looks like in the thumbnail, for example. I also used some of the robotic claw elements, which are super cool. I wish they moved around. In fact, I wish we had more animatronics all around in this game, like even if it's like a little animatronic submarine rather than just like the creatures, because I don't know, I think it looks a lot better that way. Also, continuing with the aquatic sort of theming, it's not really aquatic, is it? Aquatic, it's more industrial sci-fi theming. So just like, you know, you can do sci-fi theming. I wouldn't recommend it. I think they are going to bring a sci-fi pack out. It just feels so lackluster at the minute. I feel like they are going to add something similar like that, because it just feels so like weird that they haven't got anything like that. It just feels very strange that in the previous Planet Coaster, when I played, they had this huge sci-fi section and they had like literal people, animatronics and stuff like that, but we've got nothing like this in game. All we've got is like the stone figures rather than like people animatronics and stuff like that. So I think over time, as they add more packs, we could maybe add back, if I'm still building on this park, because I do want this to be pretty big. So yeah, you can also if you saw by the start of today's episode, I did forget to say this, but I did plan a lot off camera. So for example, I painted some of the ground just to kind of get a base concept of where the ride was going to go in proportion to the whole area, because the left side's going to be a theme park and the right side's going to be like a water park. So I wanted the water park section to be in between the theme park but not too far away from the river ride. So I've just incorporated the two together, where there's going to be a little pool in the middle where kids can go and have a lazy river, and it's all going to be themed and stuff, so it's going to be pretty cool. But I just want to let you all know that, you know, it did take me a long time to plan out this area. I thoroughly enjoyed it all, but yeah, this episode took me so long to film. I cannot tell you, it literally took me all of like my whole week just kind of going over and just adding little things every now and then, because I really couldn't find much of the facilities actually online. It's actually quite a struggle finding inspiration for this, even though there's like 2 movies in the whole game, or 2 whole games based on it. I have played Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, and it is actually a really good game. I do recommend it if you like sort of games like survival games that are more story driven, and because there is now packs you can get on top of that, there is quite a long time you can play on it. I think you could probably spend about 30 hours on that game if you were going to go the pace I did, which is relatively quickly. But I haven't completed it fully. I still have a little bit to do. But I've completed the main storyline. It's just all the side quests. If you were to do the side quests, you'd be well over like 200 hours. You would take ages if you were to do it. But I think that's the excitement over games like that. And that's the same for Planet Coaster 2. You could just keep adding and adding and adding, and you could just go on infinitely, which is what I struggle with, because I always find in Planet Zoo I always come to that end limit. But in this game, there's so much possibility. You can just go on and on and on. So I do struggle with that in this game too. I think that might be just the lack of pieces at the minute. Well, not lack of pieces, but just sort of lack of ease of pieces. You have to make your own pieces if you want it to be as specific as this, rather than just doing like a medieval or Viking theme, which is quite tied together. So yeah. Now, another comment I have about this game is the lighting. So like, while you are in an indoors area, the light does work. It's not as bright as I'd like it to. And the fact that you can't have this sort of bright light that can cover this huge area, it's more just that one tiny specific spotlight for that one area. You can't have like this general just big light that covers the whole area, which I preferably like. So for example, in the Rise of Resistance ride at Disney, it's very lit up. You know, the walls have lights, the ceiling has lights, and it's got this giant light, I'd imagine, behind it. And I feel like this game needs that, like almost like a light panel. I'm pretty sure Planet Zoo has that with the emissive panels, something like that, which came in the Twilight pack for like the houses glowing at night. They need something like that, and also normal glass, because I did struggle. I was going to make a window, but I thought, no, that's too dodgy, so I just ended up making it no windows, like it is in the actual Avatar franchise. But yeah, it's just really strange how they don't have anything like that in the game, especially when you think you're coming from Planet Coaster 1, you think they'd add something like that, but I don't know, it's up to them, I think. So yeah, you'll see me in about just a minute start doing the front of the building. This probably took me the longest because I had to come up with a new design. I did this over a period of days, because just ideas came to my mind per day and I kept adding to it. So you'll find that there's a giant cut between the start of it and then the end product, just because I had this kind of idea spark my mind and I just quickly brushed it together. And you'll find out that I actually ended up making a sort of water treatment tunnel sort of thing, and this is gonna look so cool. But I'm gonna have this running all the way along over like this little bridge that's going to go over to the island in the middle of the river rapids, where the lazy river's going to be, and I'm going to have the pipeline going all the way to the ocean and have like an oil rig. I think that'd be so cool. So I'm going to try and do that the best I can. But yeah, I want it to like move like this oil tankers, like these blue canisters along, and sort of things like that. It's going to look really cool. In my head, it's going to look completely different. But I hope it looks just as cool. I think it has potential. But yeah. Also, a thing I haven't touched yet is the actual sign. Beast of the Rapids, I've called it. So this overall ride is going to be based on, I don't know what it's going to be, but some sort of creature. I have a couple of creatures in mind, but I'm not going to say them because I want to build a model for them, and I don't want you guys to be teased or anything like that. But it's going to be a predator for sure. It's not going to be the hammerhead things, if you guys are thinking, because I tried to incorporate that at the entrance there. But it's going to be something like that. And what I'm thinking of doing is the ride is basically going to be themed about this creature. It's coming to the facility and you're looking for it out in the wild to see and capture it in the wild before you go and hunt it. Which I think is quite a funny idea, because you're like this little villain, which I think is quite cool, and that's not very popular either, being the villain. So I kind of want you to feel like when you're on it, Beast of the Rapids, and the sign's got that sort of scratch mark like the beast has been rampant on the sign itself, which I think is such a cool idea of mine. So you'll see that incorporated into the station. when I finish this off camera a little bit, this isn't all on, well, most of it's on camera at the minute, but I'm going to do some work in between around the foliage to act like the creature's been rustling through and it's made some like bins fall over or something like that, I don't know. But it's been scourging through all the human stuff and they're looking out for it to hunt it. So I kind of want to have that idea going through. And I really wished it had custom tracks. I'd love to do like a custom theme park track of like a professor saying like, you know, this creature's escaped from our extra safe facility and he's gone rampant and destroying all humans and even killed an RDA mech or something like that. And yeah, I have found that someone has built a mech on the actual Frontier workshop. I don't know who did it, I can't remember, but someone's done it. And I had a look because I'd searched up RDA to have a look, and I did see it, and I thought the person who made that's really clever. It looks really accurate. So I'm going to have a little look at that and see if I can kind of not copy it, but make it a little bit of my own, because I want to take some inspiration, because I've never made something like that before. So I think it'd be really cool if I could kind of get inspiration, kind of learn how to do it, because I'm sure by the end of it I'll be like a professional at building mechs, because that's how many I'm probably going to make. And I also want to make submarines and stuff like that. And also in this ride there is an underground section, so I am thinking of making some sort of driller or something like that. But I think we'll see when the time comes. Right, and now we're entering the end of today's video. I'd just like to make sure that you guys have liked and subscribed to my channel if you'd like to see more. I am definitely thinking of completely theming this ride, not next episode, but maybe in a couple episodes time, we'll kind of theme this ride up and make it this big extravagant ride. I think it'd be cool if I document each stage and we'll make that an episode, because this episode took me way too long. I think I should have broken this up into 2 episodes. It took me so long, so I can get a little bit more videos out for you guys. So yeah, but if you guys do want to see any more content from me, be sure to let me down in the comments, and yeah, I'll always look and reply to your comments if you ever see them. So yeah, if you guys do have any suggestions or anything too, such as ride ideas, names, I still have a couple of empty spaces that I don't mind adding. I would prefer flat rides, but not too fussy. But the flat rides, I do need name ideas, because I do want to have a couple more of those. I do want to have the submersible one in the sort of next to this area, so I do want to add that as well in a future episode. So if you guys do have any ideas, please do let me know. But yeah, I will see you on the next one, so see you soon, bye!